Nothing there though.
Oh! One love.
Who got the lead? Oh,
I shine on my frame. I'm ready to ride. Feel the wind in my head. It's something I can't deny. I ride on my bike. Don't matter black or white. It's something we like. Welcome to the life. I ride on my bike. My custom frame and my trike. I'm all through the city. Obey your stop signs and lights. We fly out to Vegas just to show off our bikes. When the sun gon' go down, we bout to light up the night. 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 I shine on my frame.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
I think we got.
I'm not supposed to hear you.
Right now.
Alright, I say fucking Bellagio if you can make it, bro.
Glass.
Glass!
In the right. Glass.
You guys
in the
can
bike
hear me?
lane. Glass in the bike lane.
I keep on fucking going. Keep on fucking going. Keep on fucking going. Keep on fucking going. Keep on.
I just wanna have fun.
That's why I ride on the bike. That's why I ride on the bike.
I just wanna have fun. I just wanna have fun. I just wanna have fun.
That's why I ride on the bike. That's why I ride on the bike.
I just wanna have fun. I just wanna have fun.
That's why I ride on the bike. That's why I ride on the bike.
I just wanna have fun. I just wanna have fun. First time I saw the life, you know I got sick. I ain't even had a bike, I had to cop one. Next day, now I'm sitting on 2.6. Black Huffy with the buffies, had to grab one. Rollin' with the mob, I'm a bad one. Hot spot, rollin' with a bad one. Who can do it, I don't think none. If you ain't got a bike, go and get one. Riding down the streets with the lights on. Sounds on, bang with the tens on. You know I got it, I'ma run it to the end zone. I just wanna have fun when the kid's gone. Looking at me dirty, I'm the new guy. Life behind bars, yeah, I'm too high. Everybody say I look like Tupac. I do. All eyes on me, yeah, I won't stop. Now I'm in the life and they know me. That's right. 2 years ago, ain't nobody know me. Not at all. Yeah, I made a name for myself. Let's get it. I can't be nobody else but myself. Me. I'ma put it in a song, none less. Let's go. I'm on my DJ Cali shit, we the best. What you know about it, hit 'em with a part two. Yeah. This is bike life, got a bike for it. Bullshit. I just came to ride a bike, fuck the bullshit. Everybody talking shit about another club. Ball bouncing, but bouncing with another club. Ugh. I just came to have fun. Smoke weed.
Oh man, so it's your boy Tony Vegas and
Danny Sutton.
we're out here. Pedals Up Podcast every Thursday night. We came out here for the ride and we rode the exclusive ride to the Raider Stadium. It was fucking amazing. It was great. It was small, it wasn't huge or anything like that, but We had a good time. We had a couple breakdowns, and but we still kept it together. But thank you all that came and ride. It was
Started
great
off
times.
at noon, and it's 7 p.m. right
And it's
now.
7 p.m. We started off at noon, and it's 7 p.m. So, yeah, to all the people that came to the ride, thank you guys very much. And tune in every Thursday, fucking Pedals Up Podcast. I'm telling you, it's going to be fucking great.
Camisweras. Vegas strong, son.
Boom.
Poof, we're here. So what's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's your boy Tony Vegas and your man, my man,
Danny Sun.
Oh, welcome to the episode 19 Pedals Up Podcast. This is going to be a good one. As you can see to the left and to the right of us, we got the man, the myth, Mr. Green,
Yep.
Mr. Jimmy Peak on this show.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
And us, we're over here just flying over the strip like nothing
Yep.
on our balloons. Look at that. Hey, man, so let's talk about this week. Because, I mean, you rode from last Wednesday
Yes.
to yesterday.
Till yesterday.
Because, I mean, since, like, OPC didn't really, happen because of everything that's going on.
Yes.
Hey.
Shit happens.
Yeah, it does.
It happens.
Juan, Artistic Cruisers Bike Club, they put this together, really reached out to everybody, and, he has that reach, so he got some rides. He orchestrated
Yes,
all this,
he
and
did.
they did, and it came together. So it was a lot of good riding. Myself, I didn't make it out till Saturday night, but you were out, from
Since
Wednesday.
Since my birthday, guy.
I know, man.
And
Talk about it.
Oh my gosh, there was so much riding. I mean, 8 rides in 7 days. That's a lot of rides. I feel like I hit 100-mile mark throughout this whole week.
I bet you
At
did.
least, probably a
easily.
little bit more. But it was such a great time that everybody showed up. Everybody came out from a lot of places, and we rode the strip. I think we rode the strip like 4 times this whole weekend. Rode to the Raider Stadium twice. We rode to the sign on Friday. So Wednesday we rode all downtown, and we had a good time. Then we did an after ride with the boys from the Exclusive and new friends, and we did the mall ride. We did the parking lot. We did a whole bunch of after rides. So and then Thursday we had the show, the
Yeah.
Bacata ride, and my girlfriend Nancy and friends did a surprise thing for me. It was freaking great. Thank you, love you, Bebs, for that. We had the Ricos out here.
Yeah.
Then right after the show, we went to go ride again. And that was the Thursdays, the Artistic Cruisers.
Hey, yo,
it was fun.
And you know what was crazy about that night? Like, not just say, let's talk about it. Like, I was at work. This was around maybe 2 in the morning.
And we
They
were
called
still
me
up.
up. No, they called me up and like, man, you're not gonna believe what happened. Oh, telling me about like this cloud down the freeway that
Oh.
they see, and
Oh, yeah.
this what was it, a Hummer?
Nah, well, so what happened was it was after the ride on Wednesday night.
No, Thursday.
Thursday night. Adam Amato, Rico, and myself, we were riding home on the freeway, and it was like 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning or so, and we're riding on the freeway, and then we're looking up in the sky, and all of a sudden we see this weird cloud, and then all 3 of us will look at it, and then I looked down, and I just tilted my head to the side, and I was like, are those lights coming towards us? And it got to the point that I was able to see what truck was in front of me, and it was a Hummer H2, and it was coming at me at the same speed I was going. He was going the wrong way of the freeway. I was going the right way of the freeway, and all I did was swerve to the left. I didn't even look to see if there was a car to the left of me, and then we found out 6 miles later he did a head-on collision.
Yeah, man, that's horrible.
So last week could have been my last week, Rico's last week, and Adam's last week. And ever since that, I still get chills about it, and I appreciate the time that I have still here on Earth, and I'm sure my other two friends are too. And thank you guys all for a fantastic week, because I appreciated everybody I said hi to and everybody I rode with. So yeah, so I'm here still.
Yeah, man.
But unfortunate thing is that he ended up colliding with somebody and killing that person.
Yeah.
So she had nothing to do with anything. So drunk driving, if you're a dick, don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive. Don't smoke weed and drive either. Sorry, just telling you. I don't care what anybody says. So yeah. So Friday was great.
Yeah, Friday.
Friday was great. The Voodoo ride, the tall ride. We went on the strip. That was epic. We had a good time with the Wiggles came out here, and he did a Voodoo ride. It was fantastic. It was a good times there. And then Saturday morning. Oh, you didn't go. You just went Saturday night. Saturday night. Yep. Danny can't go to a lot of the rides during the week or anything because he works late at night. So yeah. So we were there, still represented, and Saturday was great with Fallout. We got to see some members get patched in. It was great with everybody. Shout out to Fallout. Everybody started off at Ralphie's Bike Shop, and it was just a great turnout. And then we went on to the evening. I'll let you talk about the evening since you showed up at the evening.
Man, that was a big ride. It was good to see everyone.
The Brew Peddlers.
Yeah, there was the Brew Peddlers in Barcata, the Juice ride. It was a good time, man. A lot of bikes came out.
Yes.
It was good to see they patched in some members.
Oh, the Marachi and his wifey, and I don't know.
Hey, he sang to you guys
and
too.
He sang for us on our birthday.
With
it was
the guitar
great.
and all that
for
stuff,
me and
man.
Brenda. Shout out to Brenda.
Down. Yes.
So it was it was great, man.
That was a good ride, man. It was and also thank you to that taco truck.
The taco, we got
it down Saturday night and Sunday.
Yes.
Because man, it was good.
Everything got planned out perfectly. We had food at the beginning and the food at the end of the ride, and we all went to the Raider ride on that Saturday night.
Yeah,
and
it was good. And then see it at night, and then again Sunday morning. Hey, yo, Sunday. Thank you, Fallout Riders, and everyone else, Fernie, everyone else who helped out with tools. Man, we had a lot of my bike, the back, the cog, it started getting loose. It's a different type. Like, yeah, I know. Like, we're gonna have a bunch of pros right now. Like, technically,
you gotta do this.
Yeah, it's like we're in the heat of when you're riding, you just gotta do what you gotta do to get down the strip, and I did. I cramped. Oh man, it was the longest. Like,
it was bad.
It was, but we, you know what I mean. It turned out an all-day thing. But thank you everyone that came out because it was a good amount of people, but it wasn't huge, but it was good. Everyone hung in there. The weather, it was a good ride.
The weather in Las Vegas was fantastic. Just letting y'all know, it was like the beach out here. It was beautiful. It was sunny. The nighttime was fantastic. Everything was just great. I couldn't. There's no complaint on how this week went.
Shout out to everyone that came out from Cali. I know Arizona was in the house.
Yes, they were.
Coyote.
The Coyotes were deep out here.
Yes, a lot of people from Cali too came out. There was a lot of people that came out. So thank you to everyone, and again, thank you to Juan and Artistic, the bike club, and Scuba Steve for checking in, man. And I think we might have him in tonight too. But before we even get into that, do we have any, with all these rides kind of happening, do we have any rides coming up?
There is a ride right here.
Because I know there's one going on right now, man.
There is one right now.
Do this one. Sorry.
No, right now, okay, this one coming up right here.
Before the other one.
Is, hold on a second, please. Yeah, that one. So this one right here is a Barcata ride out overseas, out in Europe, I believe, on the 18th and 19th and 20th. In the Netherlands, I believe it is.
Ooh.
So Remco sent me this flyer, and he's like, "Can you hook it up and talk about it?" So I hooked it up and I talked about it, my dude.
Man, hopefully
So
you
there
guys
it is.
hopefully you guys are doing good out there. Hopefully
Yes,
the rides
they
are
are.
good out there, man. Hopefully everything's because I mean, hey, it's starting to pop off again, kind of, sorta.
I just noticed the flyer. It says 1 Barcata, 2 ride, 3 beer, 4 bikes, 5 fun.
Oh.
The sixth curse. The sixth cruise.
Yeah. That's dope.
And then the other one, now we have females that are doing it now. Yes, badass babes on bikes.
Triple B ride?
Yes, that's fucking awesome. That women are, no guys are allowed. Right there it says on there, ladies only. Right
so
there.
this is in downtown?
Yes, so we dropping off our girls. They're getting on bikes and they're riding bikes. Let them do their things. Let them enjoy themselves. Hey, they gotta enjoy themselves. Fuck, man, they gotta fucking. It's always us, and we always bring in our girls and stuff like that. Now let them have their own girl time. That way we can have our own guy time.
Mandilon.
Just letting y'all know. Just letting you know. And then we have one more ride, I believe, on there. Maybe not.
But I know
But it is what it is.
Southeast Barcata, they got their Thursday
Oh, the
ride. I know
Thursday
they
night
were-
ride. Yes, the Barcata Southeast chapter. Yep.
Yeah, I know they're out there riding right now, man. And shout out again to Art for coming down,
Yes.
scraping pedals out here, man, on his
Art
nerve.
and Frank. Art and Frank.
Yeah, Frank out here. Hey, man, that dude, when we were taking the picture, had the Raider song on. It was like the most perfect intro. Oh, man. Hey, good. Let him have that moment because that was so dope, man. Like, you know, like a true Raider fan at the actual Raider Stadium. That was dope, man. It was good to see that. All the actual Raider fans that were out here, you know, to see that. So that was cool, man. It's cool to see that.
It was. I had a great time this week. I just had a great time. I'm sorry. I almost died and I had a great time. So I'm good. I'm good. The other thing we have, just real quick, we have shout out to our sponsors, Mask Up Sucker. He'll be. Oh, there you are. There you are. Thank you guys, everybody who we were selling the mask out on the rides. Thank you guys very much for supporting and buying some masks. It was good to see a lot of people. Some people were riding with the masks and some people weren't. But I mean, for those who did buy the Mask Up Sucker mask, they did ride with the mask on. So I appreciate that. Thank you very, very, very much. And then the other shout out we got is Mr. Jimmy Peak. Oh, Jimmy Peak. The guy's a bad dude. He's a bad mamma jamma.
It's crazy, man, because like, you know, he's here. We know he's here. You know, they can't see him, but we can. But it's crazy to me because right now, like, hey, like, you know, I'm always watching the videos, and right now, just watching the background, like, that's him live right now.
Yeah.
And pretty soon we're gonna be interacting with him. But it's just crazy to see like the videos and actually like he's in his garage and shit. That's fucking tight.
So don't
man.
forget, guys, tune in on Jimmy Peak's show. Check him out on his YouTube channel. I don't know exactly what days they are, but they're on there. I know they're on there. He's got it all organized and everything.
Like, just subscribe and
So
it
just
comes
subscribe,
up.
yes.
Yeah, because I get the notification when the videos are uploaded. So that's why follow.
Yes. So follow. So without further ado, everybody, here he comes, Mr. Jimmy Peak.
Oh, he threw it up.
Yeah,
he threw
it up. What's going on, Mr. Jimmy? How you
You guys
doing?
are too much. I'm doing good. You guys?
Enjoying
Thanks for
ourselves.
having me. First off, thanks so much for having me.
No problem, man. We talked about it for a while to get some heavy hitter builders, and Danny is a big fan of yours.
Yeah, because I saw him early on in OBC. He was his bikes was very clean. He was just him, the way he presents himself, he's very professional, man. Like, that's what I like about him. Like, he's not too cool for school.
Appreciate that.
You know what I mean? You could actually talk to him, and again, like, the quality of his bicycles was one guy that really stood out to me.
Yes.
Him and Lance Tudor, like, those two guys, like, their bikes is two different styles. But early on OBC, that's what stood out to me was these two guys. But Jimmy Peak was, like I said, his stuff really stood out to me. I was like, huh. And then you just kind of start to follow him on
the conversation we had at
what was it in
Shiny Side.
Yeah.
we
And
had
you
a
get
good-
to see like just kind of his story of how he went from like kind of office work to where he's at now, man. Like this is cool.
So what's up, Jimmy?
You guys are too much.
So tell us about yourself.
Anyhow, yeah. Well, for the most part, basically, I have people asking me all the time, you know, how I got into building bicycles or how I got into fabrication. And I'm going to give you guys a kind of an as quick as possible thing here. When I first started, I was in an area that was very populated with lowriders. And I had a lot of friends who had older brothers. They were building their lowrider cars. So us being kids, we started building lowrider bikes. And that's basically what started it. We were breaking down bikes, bare frame, rattle can paint job, pinstripe paint, you know, upholstery, you name it. And that's what got me into building bikes. And so, You guys good on that end?
Oh yeah. We're good. We're excellent.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, so we started building, like I said, we were breaking down bikes, and not that I wasn't into the BMX thing. I was there and everybody was jumping their bikes, but you know how like there was always that one kid, everybody had their cool BMX bikes, and there's always that one kid who was jumping his Schwinn. That was me.
That's you? Oh,
That's
man.
not me jumping the Schwinn, but that basically tells a story of where I was at during the BMX days. That's me sitting there on my orange bike, and that's basically. What's that?
That's dope. That's just
Okay, so anyway, that's how it started for me as a kid. Now we're going to fast forward 2010, and I started getting into building electro bikes. And basically, in those days, there weren't a lot of retailers that were offering over-the-counter bikes that had like 3-inch tires or triple tree forks and custom paint jobs. I remember the first time I ever saw a Rat Pink, I was just like, wow. So I started building electro bikes, and I was thinking to myself, well, how can I like start connecting with other people? And so in those days, I was building websites and doing photoshopping, much like you, Tony. And I was like, well, I'm going to build a forum. And this was before social media picked up. So I'm going to build a forum, but I got to figure out a way for people to find this forum. So if you go to the Electra website, the domain was electrabike.com. So I purchased the domain electrabikeforums.com. So when you Google search, there was Electra, and then there I was right under it. And because I was doing photoshopping and everything, I was grabbing logos and color schemes, and I was trying to make the forum look like it was actually hosted by Electra. And it worked. People were jumping in, and we were talking about our bikes and everything. We got a couple OG guys from the bike lot who were in that back in the day. Billy Bueno was on that forum. This was 10 years ago. Dano from Florida, he was on that forum. And so we started connecting, and I started connecting with people locally, which was the idea. I wanted to start talking to people locally about, building electric bikes. First couple of guys who hit me up was a guy named Jeb, who lived out here in the beach area. And the second guy his name was John, and better known as JC Regal, who is the stray dog here in San Diego. Happens to live in my city. He's literally just like 10 minutes down the road. And we got to talking. And we're like, hey, let's put together a ride, and maybe we can make it a monthly thing. We'll promote it on the forum and whatever. And we're like, great idea. So we start pimping it on the forum. I'm putting flyers at local bike shops. We show up, and only one other person showed up. So basically, it was Jeb, John, myself. I invited my friend Chris, and the other person who showed up was Junior. And so there's Jeb and Junior in those photos there. And nonetheless, we had a great time, and we got to know each other. None of us knew each other at the time. There's a shot with all the bikes, and we were proud. We rode up and down the boardwalk, had a bite to eat, and there was the first EBF ride in the books.
Wow.
A couple weeks later on the forum, a guy named Chad reaches out to me, and he's like, hey, man, I hear you're trying to put these rides together with, electric bikes. So I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, I can get a bunch of riders on there on electric bikes. I'm like, sweet. So we set up the second date. People start falling in, and sure enough, they're on electric bikes, and they're starting to roll them up. And I'm looking around. I'm like, I noticed a lot of people wearing vests, and I'm also noticing a lot of orange. Can you guess who this Chad guy was? Pee-wee. I didn't know him. First time we met Pee-wee, and the Chapaderos were at the second ever EBF ride. And so, yeah, it's crazy, right? I mean, in those days, it wasn't, like you don't see clubs like you do today where, you just didn't see them. So after the first ride, I got to talking to Junior, and Junior and I clicked. I mean, he's one of my best friends today. Junior and I clicked right from the go, and I'm just like, hey, man, this is supposed to be like a family ride, like we kids and stuff. I don't want anyone to be intimidated by the vest. Like I said, those days you didn't really see it. So I'm like, do you mind going on the forum and, doing a shout out and letting the club know no cuts? Junior's like, yeah, no problem. So he puts it on there, no cuts. From that day forward, anyone who ever joined rides, they respected that. So we ended up, the others started falling in, which are now Most of them are compadres today. Jerry from the Easy Riders were falling in back in those days. There's a lot of old school pictures here from about 9 and 10 years ago. And so we did this for years. We opened it up to all bikes. It eventually became all bikes. We didn't segregate for just Electras. And I remember there's Big D back in the day, and Chad back in the day. There's T-Flow back in the day. And we opened it up to everybody. And I remember Wiggles. Wiggles was back in those rides also. Wiggles at that time, because we opened the ride to everyone, he dubbed EBF as everybody's family versus electric bike forums.
Nice.
So we did this for years. We had a great time with it. And I'm going to fast forward now to 2013, the first OBC. And I was still building electric bikes, and I wasn't fabricating yet. I'm getting to that. And the first bike I brought to OBC was a bike I simply called Monster. And it was basically a electric frame. I stripped it down, bare aluminum, clear coat, pinstripe, put 3-inch wheels on it, and we were squeezing them in those frames back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Did the Brooks saddle, half-link chain, bastard shifter, and I'm not saying I'm the first at anything, but I remember that half-link chain back in the day was definitely drawing attention.
Was it a
So that was my first. Yeah.
I have that in
That
my
was-
Cadillac.
So that was my first bike at OBC1. So now I'm going to fast forward. Later that year, Gary from Low Life Bikes puts out an announcement on Facebook. Now social media is starting to pick up. And it basically said, if you would like to participate in an online build-off, the rules are you must fabricate a frame and build it start to end, complete cosmetics and everything in 30 days. And I'm just like, damn, I want to get in on this. And I hadn't been fabricating yet. Buddy of mine, Andrew, who was part of the EBF rides, he'd come over, we would build bikes together. He fabricated on the side as a hobby. He did it partially at work also, and most of his fabrication equipment was stored at his yard where he worked because he lived in a townhouse, didn't have any place to store it. So I hit him up. I'm like, Andrew, I go, you want to bring your fabrication stuff over? They're doing this online build-off. I have this frame design, and maybe you can show me the 1-2, and I'd like to be involved with this. He's like, sure. So he brings his stuff over. Gary receives about a half dozen, and that's crazy because you think about that today. You put online build-off, and it's just like there's just so many, which is great. I'm just saying the numbers are just so different. A couple of the guys drop off, so there ends up being just 4 of us, and the 4 were myself, a guy named Crusher, who is no longer with us, rest easy, Crusher, Joe from Low Tide Customs, and Randy from RJ Customs. Again, we didn't even know each other. I think Joe knew Gary, but we didn't know each other at the time. So Gary says, go. And we're showing our progress throughout the next 30 days on a group page. And 30 days later, the Caddy was born. And so that's basically my first Peak Cycles design and double backbone, and has the swoops under the saddles, which has become signature with my frames today. And that's basically the firstborn. I learned so much in that 30 days. Like I said, Andrew mentored me through it, and it was an amazing experience. Come Judgment Day, I didn't win. Joe won that build off, and you know what's funny is like we joke about that bike. Joe and I are great long distance friends today. We talk all the time, but it's just interesting that we can talk about these times where we didn't even know each other. So moving forward, fast forward to after this build off, I have to return all this fab equipment. I'm like kind of bummed out. I'm like, oh, you know, I'm just starting to get the itch. Well, Andrew, because he was storing it at his yard, living in a townhouse, he offered to sell me everything. And I was just like, hell yeah. So I purchased everything. The table that I'm using today is still the same table I purchased from him. Nice. The bender and the notcher. The welder we borrowed, so we had to return the welder. No more than like 2 days later, I purchased the same welder, and it's still the same welder I'm using today.
Nice.
So now I have the itch. I'm on fire. I'm like, I need to fabricate something. And so this is later in the year, and I fabricate and surprise Kelly with the red bike, or her red bike. And she doesn't ever really check in on like what I'm working on in here. I was able to do it totally under the radar, and I surprised her with that. So that way, right, is pretty much the second born. She still rides that bike to this, loves that bike. So going forward, now we are going into OBC2. Gary hosted a bike show, and it was being judged at OBC by shops and by clubs. And I wanted to bring something different. So I took the caddy frame and straightened out the top tubes and made it more of a chopper. Did the airbrush flames, and I called it the Bat Out of Hell. And basically I showed that bike at the show. I ended up getting the shop pick from Midtown Cruiser Shop from Jeff Jurgen, and Kelly got Best Ladies Bike from Troy of Rat Rod Riders. And again, I don't even know these guys. This is all like just new, and the reason I keep bringing this up because it's amazing how much these guys are really good friends to me. We talk about it all the time of how the bike life is, if anything, the unity, you know. And if it wasn't for a common interest, we wouldn't know each other. I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you.
Yeah.
So fast forward to OBC3 2015. Gary puts out an announcement about 6 months prior, and he says, Lowlife Gary, and he says, if you would like to participate in a build-off and have your build debuted at OBC and judged at OBC, hit me up. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm getting in on this. So I throw my name in the hat. Gary has like 5 contestants. He has 5 contestants and a wild card later. The 5 contestants are basically here. Listen to these names. Like I said, we don't know each other. Alejandro from Alejandro's Garage. He later had to step down, and he couldn't complete the bill, the whole process over family and work, his work schedule. So he had to step down. The other names were Stephanie from Pensive Works out of Arizona, Joe again from Low Tide, Paul Wacko, and then the wild card was Josh from BMF Customs out of Texas. And it's just so strange to me to talk about it now because, like I said, we talk all the time now. I mean, again, this brought us together. So Gary says go. 6 months, we're like updating all our stuff. And at OBC3 2015, I brought the Captain America. And that basically is your all-American Easy Rider chopper, 2-seater. And again, I don't know I can't say it was the first, but I fooled people all weekend because nobody knew that was an e-assist bike. I wasn't hiding it, but the battery is in that handlebar bag. The cables are hidden through the fork, and that front hub is electric. And it's mainly for assist because when you ride a bike that big and you got somebody on the back, I mean, you're not going to be going very far. I don't care who you are. So what's funny is that we did the sign ride. You guys know how far the sign ride is from Golden Nugget to the sign and back. To prove the rideability of that bike, I rode Kelly on the back of that bike that entire ride. And I remember we would be like at stoplights at a stop, and I'd hit that E button and pedal into it. And people were like, dang, Jimmy's in really good shape because they didn't know it was electric. Yeah. So that was a Captain America. Okay, so Sunday, show day, Judgment Day, I won the first OBC build-off. And like I said, much respect to the builders. And it definitely put Peak Cycles on the map. And, I thank Gary for that. I thank OBC for that. And so that was OBC 3. After that, because basically the rules were if you win, you come back to defend your title the next year. So I had to come back and do it again. I'm like, what am I going to do now? So I was trying to come up with something completely different. I didn't want to do another chopper or whatever. So I thought, well, how challenging would it be to build a bike around a Western theme? And that was when I did the Smoke Wagon. And so basically, copper plate, Wim did the foil leading and pinstripe scroll on the wheels. All the CNC cutting was done by Gearhead John back in the day. And the tank, that is an oak tank, and that was done by Dano in Florida, our painter. And this, like I said, I want to say he was working his day job still when I hit him up on this. And basically, the core of his career was woodworking. And so I thought to myself, what better guy to build a wood tank for my bike who's been doing woodworking his whole life and he knows bikes? So I sent him a cardboard template of the shape I wanted. I sent him the shot glasses, the cigars, and the 6-shooter. And basically that gun is a cigar light. It's a torch lighter. But it's 1-to-1 scale. I sent him all those things, and I told him, hey, I need all these to fit in this tank and not rattle around or move around when I'm riding. So when I open the box, everything's in place. And boom. That's what he came back with. I mean, I was just totally amazed. So, Judgment Day, show day, I did not win. And the winner of that build-off, respectfully so, one of the best in the business, one of the nicest guys you ever meet. Danny King Zeba won with his green chopper that year. So that was that OBC. After that OBC, Gary contacts Team OBC and starts throwing out the idea of maybe passing down the reins of hosting the build-off. Mainly, I mean, he's in Florida, and to travel to Vegas every year, and the expense and travel time and the commitment to a build-off every year is tough, that long distance, understandably. So OBC approached me, and I've been hosting the build-off ever since. In a nutshell, as far as peak cycles, where this is all going, basically it all started when I first had held that welding gun in my hand. And I've said this a million times to people when they ask me about peak cycles in fabrication. I tell them, I go, consistency is key.
Yes.
I've been in this shop almost every day since that first day I held that gun. It's a passion. To me, consistency, you work hard, stay humble, and let the rest unfold.
Yeah.
And that's it.
There is
that's it in a nutshell. What is it? Is it like 1 o'clock in the morning now or what?
No. You're right. There is no secret to it. It's just do it.
Yeah.
Do it. And if you love doing it, you're gonna be good at it.
Yes. I mean, when I first saw your the Western bike the year after.
Yeah.
That was when I started going to OBC. It was actually 2016. I went.
That would have been 17.
Yeah. 17. I'm sorry. And when I saw it, I was like, I can't build none of this shit. I can't. There's no way. And it's like, but there is builders out there that I really look up to. You're one of them. Eddie Dubs is one of them that I look up to. When I saw his bikes, and we kept talking about it. And since he's here, and like another guy, Bo Bronson out here in Vegas. At that time, when I first met them, he just always told me, he goes, details. It's all in the details and everything. And I just kept paying attention to what he kept saying. And when I look at the bikes that you make and a lot of the other, fabricators or just bike builders, I always straight go for details, nuts, bolts, welds, all that kind of little stuff, And it's true. Consistency is key.
Yeah, it's cool because like with Jimmy, like what I like about his stuff, like he doesn't half-ass nothing. Like you can tell he takes his time because that's his name. That's his. It's just super quality work. Like a lot. It's crazy for me to hear, like, because I remember seeing, like my perspective of when I first seen these bikes in OBC, but just to hear, like for his side of the story is cool as hell, man. And just dropping knowledge on us, like just straight up bike history now.
If y'all didn't get to hear this, y'all missing history lessons right now. This man right here is teaching us some things that I didn't even know about.
You can see from the comments people are appreciating these pictures.
That's exactly why I ran through that. And I know I burned through it fast, but I mean, people who know me, they know once we started, I just keep talking. And so I just wanted to give it in a nutshell. And yes, everything I just told you, I mean, it's an interesting thing because a lot of these people who are watching, I know they know a lot of the people I'm speaking of. And I'm not saying I'm like a veteran, but I mean, it's been interesting to watch this whole thing unfold, and it's been an awesome thing. I mean, I've been having such a great time. I'm so blessed to be able to do what I'm doing.
You don't have to call yourself a veteran.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll call you a veteran.
He's very humble. He don't want to toot his horn. We'll toot it for you,
man. You're like a band. If I can do that, I'd be like, bah, 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 bah. I'd be fucking tuning.
Oh man, but this is wow.
I mean, y'all got some knowledge. Y'all got some history in this whole bike game. A lot of people always want to say, where was the first time? Who did this and who did that? Blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. There you go.
But it's also, too, about, I mean, it's good to know where, a lot of this comes from.
Yes.
Because to see where a lot of these bikes are now, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these guys are really pushing it. A lot of these guys.
Yeah.
They're pushing it to that point. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying it's very cool for, that the YouTube channel that Jimmy has. It's very important. Like, right now, he just dropped knowledge on us right now. Like, that's how his YouTube channel is. Just dropping knowledge of everything that he knows because, I mean, the experience is there. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. These YouTube channels, like watch it. If you're building a bike or if you're just starting off, even if you're a dude that's been in it, I mean, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
I'm happy.
I super appreciate that, Danny. You every week. You know what? I know you're watching because every week you talk about what it was I had the
Yeah,
previous
yeah, I
episode.
am
So
watching. I am.
I'm just saying, you always bring that topic up, and it cracks me up. So I super appreciate that. Now, as far as the YouTube, basically the reason I'm YouTubing is there's two reasons. One, I'm just literally having a really good time with it. I'm not doing it for popularity. I'm not doing it to be a YouTube star. I'm just having fun. The other reason is when I first started building bicycles or fabrication, I always wished that there were resources for information
Yeah.
on doing that. Everybody uses YouTube. You go and change the kitchen sink, you pull up YouTube. You want to change the spark plugs in your car, you use YouTube. You want to build a custom bike or do fabrication,
Jimmy Peak.
there's nothing on YouTube.
Jimmy Peak now.
And so I basically, I'm not saying I know everything. I appreciate you saying I know what I'm talking about. All I'm doing is I can tell you what I can tell you, what I experienced firsthand. And that's all I'm doing is information that I've experienced, and if that helps anybody going forward, then I've done my job.
And you know what's funny? Like, when I would see a lot of Jimmy Peak stuff, I'm like, man, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do that. So that's where the name Danny Cheap came from. Because I'm like, man, I'm like way down here, man. I'm Danny Cheap. There's no way I'm gonna be a Jimmy Peak. But that's how the name Danny Cheap came about.
You got a peak.
It's just funny. But I just, my quick flips, I was all about that, and I still am, But it's cool to see like this, man, like I'm still in wow.
You're still in wow. See,
Yeah,
it's okay. I mean, it is a cool thing to see that. I mean, a lot of people on here that are on the chat room, they're saying Jimmy this, Jimmy that, Jimmy thumbs up, and they're happy. But the ones that are on here live right now watching, y'all got to hear it from the man's mouth on like the where it started, where something started and stuff like that. So it was. I'm happy too.
Yeah.
It was-
Yeah.
It was a good thing.
Is there like anything else you want to say? I mean, is there any shout outs? Is there anything that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I do have a few shout outs. The first one's really easy, and that's this person right here.
Aww.
Okay. You didn't hear it. There she is.
Hello.
How
Hi,
are you?
guys.
How you doing?
Good. How are you? Very good.
You guys know
Good.
Kelly, or if you've met Kelly, she has been there every step of the way of everything I just told you and some. We will be celebrating tomorrow 35 years since we've met.
35 years.
Yeah.
Man,
35
35
years.
years.
Nice.
Nice. Congratulations
And-
on that.
Thank you.
And she is a champ. She's the best. She helps me and supports me in everything. If it wasn't for Kelly, there is no Peak Cycles. There's no Jimmy Peak, and that's the honest to God truth.
No, I love you.
You guys make a good team.
That's good. That's good. You guys hear that,
And so a
couples?
couple more.
You guys hear that,
I
couples
got a
out
couple
there?
quick more.
All right, be happy with your couple, because then things can be like this, and then, babes, maybe like 10 years from now, I can build bikes too. So your
So,
shot.
couple
What,
quick shout outs. I got a couple quick shout outs. Again, I'm going to thank Gary, Low Life Gary, one more time for giving me the opportunity and discovering a talent I never knew I had, along with Andrew, who put that torch in my hand for the first time and mentored me. Thank you guys both so much. Team OBC, T-Flow, Pee-wee, Amy, Sean, the opportunities you've given me, not just business partners, you guys are my friends. Lastly, I would like to thank you, the Bike Life community, for supporting me, Cycles, and welcoming us into the Bike Life.
yes. Dude,
Man.
what a great freaking show.
Yeah.
What a great show. We got an anniversary, 35-year anniversary on here. We got Jimmy Peak on. We got Mrs. Peak on here. The Peaks.
Yeah, man, this is really cool. So if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, what is the best way? Facebook, Instagram?
Jeez. You know what? And it's funny you asked that because I want to narrow it down to one thing. The problem is that I literally, Kelly's looking at me and laughing because she knows that I get messages through text, Facebook messages, Instagram messages, emails on the website, and I'm literally answering those by the multiples daily. And so, I mean, I would like to. I know of another guy who runs his own business, and he basically puts out a post that says, "I'm not answering you unless you through email." Period. And a lot of people are like, "Well, good luck with that," because regardless of how much you tell people that, they're still going to use Messenger and everything else. So, I mean, to answer your question, just keep doing what everybody's doing. So if you want to get in touch with me, all of those, and I usually reply to everything within 24 hours. If you don't hear from me in 24 hours, usually the only thing that happens is if we're not direct friends on Facebook, then, you know, it gets caught in that queue where you have to accept it. And that's the only time I ever really miss it. Otherwise, if I see the message, the other thing too is if you message me on the weekend and I don't answer, I'm not answering you on the weekend. The weekends are the weekend. I try to work Monday through Friday, and I try to commit my time on the weekends to spending time with family.
You're a legit business.
You're a legit business.
Yes,
Monday through Friday. Remember that, guys. Monday through Friday.
Right. Monday through Friday.
Don't freaking bother me on the weekend. I'm riding.
But look what she brought me here.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't drink on the job. I never drink on the job.
But
and right now we're winding down into the episode. This is my first.
I got water. I got water. We got water right now. We usually got beer, but we
All
got
right,
water.
here we go.
Sandwiches.
Thanks
Cheers.
a lot for having me.
No problem.
Oh man.
Is there ever a time that you look at at one of your bikes that you built and you keep staring at it and you're like, I could have done that. I could have done this different. I could have, and then you'd be like, okay, I'm changing it on the next bike. Yeah.
I mean, really, you get that feeling like when you first finished one. I mean, everybody goes through that feeling, you know. When you first finish it, you're like, man, it's like you can't stay. You just want to bring it in the bedroom, you know, and like, you know, just have it like parked in the bedroom, you know. But so I mean, there's no one particular. I mean, like I said, my two favorite creations I ever did was the Captain America and the Smoke Wagon, and those two. I mean, she'll divorce me after 35 years if I get rid of either one of those bikes. So.
Is there a particular frame that from a builder or just a frame that you really like that you haven't built that you see out there? It's like one day I'll get one of those.
Oh, geez. Well, I got to tell you, I mean, I want to bring up Gary's name all night, but I mean, what he does is just hurts my head. You know, I mean, the amount of work. I don't know if you guys saw that trike, that front loader trike he just finished up, but I'm like, I can't even charge enough to do that much work. It's like, so I won't do it. But I mean, Gary does it like a natural. So to me, I mean, I really envy the way that he does that. He does these front loaders, front suspensions. He does so many things that when it comes to the technical end, I don't even go there. I mean, I'm enjoying, I like what my style, you know that, I mean, you can tell. I mean, my style is very simplistic. We talk about that. But to me, the idea, or what one of the hardest things is to make something simple, but still catch your eye, and not be so extreme. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Gary's style is that I envy for sure. There's a lot of guys, all these guys out there, man. The best thing about this is that everybody's different. That's why I always promote everything and everybody. I'm like, there's room for everybody. Not everybody's going to like the same thing or it'd be boring. So the fact that we all have a different style, it's like if somebody wants something like this and it ain't my thing, I'm like, you go check out so-and-so. I don't have a problem with that. I don't need to like try and get all the business. I'm busy enough, but it's like straight up square tube frames. Everyone can stop hitting me up on square. I've done a handful. Eddie out there has the tail dragger. There's a square tube Rockstar out there. I did do square tube Reaper, which this guy hasn't revealed yet. So I mainly did them to prove to myself that I can do square tube. But for the most part, not my thing. Danny, HB Robert, and Gary, those guys knock out square tube like with their eyes closed. So again, like I said, there's so many guys. I envy everybody.
Cool, man. And so we got people in here. We got in here Michelle Lamb that says Jimmy rocks. What else we got? Jeff Lindquist. Brad Marlin in here. Nancy,
What's up,
hi
Brad?
Bibbs, love you.
You know,
Bibbs.
you're throwing these names out, and I gotta say, you know, I really miss everybody. I haven't been to anything, and it's not a secret. People probably, you know, like, you know that I'm one of the biggest supporters for Bike Life, no matter what it is. I mean, raffles or just being there and supporting in every way. And it just right now for me, it's just my choice with this craziness in this world going on. And a big part of it is like, I'm not getting any younger. I'm not afraid of the pandemic. The thing is, like, in my line of work and what I do, this is my livelihood. I can't afford to be out. I got a lot of work right now, and I just choose not to be there. And so far it's paid off.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but it just what it is. So, you know, going forward, hopefully we get through this, and I cannot wait to see everybody again in person.
With that being said, anybody that does not come out to any kind of bike rides or any gatherings or anything like that, we respect that. Like, there's no, I mean, it is what it is. Some of us will go out and some of us won't, and it is what it is, you know. And if you don't got a mask up, sucker. Just letting you know. Just check it out on Instagram. Plug.
That's why, with everything that has been happening, that's why we're all making these adjustments. That's kind of how this podcast came up, because there is a lot of people that aren't really riding as much, so this is the links now to kind of keep us all connected in these times.
Right.
So that's why it's good to have a lot of these conversations that we can't have during rides. So that's why it's cool to hear this stuff. And I mean, again, this has been a great episode.
I'm so happy.
Yeah,
I'm so happy. I just want to give a shout out to the people that hired us to work this, and PJ, the engineer, that he does a great job on handling the show.
Fantastic.
And everything. So I just want to let you guys know that just give them a round of applause. They're awesome.
PJ.
You know, PJ was the one that handles the whole entire show. He said, Jimmy usually I do all the graphics and do everything. No, Jimmy did all the pictures and everything.
Right there.
And he sent it to him in order and blah, blah, blah. And it worked out just fine.
Yeah,
so
perfect. That's
good job. Good job, you too.
Yep.
You know, I always wanted to be on ESPN.
There you go. I don't know how much more ESPN you can get, guy.
Yo, and we gotta get him a Dixon. You know what I mean? To sponsor him, man.
Yeah, right.
Always
rocking the Dixon stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Shirts, man.
Yeah.
Or hey, someone with an apron or something. You know, a Jimmy P custom. You know what I mean? Something get down. You know what I mean? His own uniform. Yeah.
Weld if you're horny.
But all right, man. This has been a great episode.
Yes.
I mean, we're kind of pushing on time.
Yes.
We're definitely probably, most likely,
Flyer.
definitely going to do a part 2 because, I mean, he's been dropping a lot of knowledge. And like he said, he can go on with a lot of this. So we would like to hear some more. So definitely we'll have a part 2.
Yes, it's gonna be great when he come back on the show later on after the pandemic stuff going on. It'll be we would love to have you in our studio possibly next year for OBC.
Be more than honored.
Okay, thank you very much. And then
I mean, we're out there in Vegas. Like I said, I love the city. Kelly and I actually got married in Vegas. I don't know if the chapel's still there. What was it? Candlelight Chapel. Is that still there?
Yeah, I'm sure they're still there. Yeah.
There's a million chapels out there. You're like, yeah, that one.
Cadillac.
All I know is that
we got married.
Is that the beginning of the strip?
We got married there.
Did you?
And then we stayed, before it was the Stratosphere, we stayed at Bob's Stupacs. Do you even know what that is?
That
was before.
PJ does.
It was
He said it in the mic. He said it in the ear. He said, "I know what it is." See, it's a great day. It's a great day. We talk about marriages and everything.
1989. Where were you?
Ooh,
That's when we got married.
I was in 7th grade. I was in 7th grade back then.
So yeah, that was in Vegas. We eloped in Vegas in 1989.
Well, guys, there you have it.
Hey,
number 19, shut down right here, Mr.
19.
Jimmy Peak, Miss Kelly Peak on the show right here. Thank you guys very much for gracing us with your presence here.
All right.
And then so we'll be out. Thank you very much. Right. And then tune in next week. tune in next week on the next show. We're gonna have Aaron. Oh shit!
fellas.
No,
Who is it?
Stilo
Oh, Stilo.
Customs.
Yeah,
Stilo
Stilo.
Customs, right there.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Aaron Gonzalez over here.
Oh,
Stilo Customs.
man.
Yes, so he's gonna be on the
Tuning in
show
for
next
sure.
week. I'm excited for
I'm gonna
this.
give this guy. I'm gonna give him such a hard time on the.
Oh,
on the
shit.
No, I
Stilo-
love him. That's
Yes.
why I'm saying this. We talk also. We
Yeah.
talk, and so it's like I love this guy,
So-
and so I'm looking forward to it.
So tune in next week, guys, because it's gonna be a good show. I mean, we got good fabricators on here. We got good bike builders. We got a whole bunch of good people. So it's good for everyone. So all his information will be on the flyer. We'll post that up on our Facebook, and then just tune in next week. And then the following week, we'll figure that one out. we're in process. We're in process. But so Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe on our Facebook and our YouTube and everything. And tune in every Thursday night, Pedals Up Podcast. And if you ain't got a bike, get a bike. Stop being lazy in your goddamn life. I'm out.
Son.
Just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free. We want to be free to do what we want to do. And we want to get loaded. We want to have a good time. And that's what we're going to do.
Well, wait, baby, let's go.
Yeah, catch me riding in the street, pushing pedals, banging, got me riding to the beat. Bike life, bike life. Catch me riding in the street, pushing pedals, banging, got me riding to the beat. Roll out, roll out. Catch me riding in the street, pushing pedals, banging, got me riding to the beat. Bike life, bike life. Catch me riding in the street, pushing pedals, banging, got me riding to the beat. Roll out. Are you bout it? Yeah, I'm bout it, bout that bike life. Are you bout it? Yeah, I'm bout it, bout that bike life. Are you bout it? Yeah, I'm bout it, bout that bike life. Are you bout it? Yeah, I'm bout it, bout that bike life. Roll out, that bike life. Roll out, bike life. Roll out, that bike life. Roll out, bike life. Roll out, that bike life. Roll out, bike life. Roll out, that bike life. Roll out, yeah, bike life. It's a hot sunny day. Come on, let's pull them bikes out. Them custom low riders, beach cruiser, even pull them tracks out. We fucking up the traffic. We come together as one. Rock a patch on our back, come together and having fun. What that life like, that bike life. Worldwide, OBC, represent your club. Damn ride, deep west squad up. Everybody mob up. Deep back bikes in color, east side rider. Cleveland cruisers, truth riders. Show you right, pothole jumper, boulevard cruisers, and fuck your life. G mob and glow, Detroit, easy rider. Mud made Detroit lady cruisers and all out. Pretty psycho, plenty act like riders. The Middletons, deep town and peace riders. Hot spot rollers and we burning up the city. Got the savages, nothing but loving D-town riding with me. Where my real riders at? Night Owl and Stray Dogs. Trailblazers, Mass Rider, can't forget y'all. Just us, Rhythm Riders, OPP. Pedal up, North End Bandits riding with me. Bacata, Lane Bangers, I'm calling everybody out. This is bike life, baby. You know what this about, the outsiders. We all bikers with an attitude, a syndicate. Classic cruisers, awesome cool dudes. Independent Hell Riders, OH10, 75 Riders, 313. We get to the hooligans, custom cruisers. We ride bikes, rock your boy, check out the bike. We about to take flight. Leon Hito, LDR, Drunken Bikes, BBI, Keytown, and Birdman. We love the life, can't forget bikes and murder. This is bike life, slow roll, Taco Tuesday. With your life flight, ride on Wednesday, ride on Thursday. We ride on Friday, ride on Saturday. We even ride on Sunday, yeah, we get it in. Yeah, we exercise, little bit of drama, go tell a friend. Giving back to the community, come together from unity. Pushing pedals, somebody tell them we all a family. If we work together, no telling how big that this can be. We all around the world and we all meet up at OBC. Are you bout it? Yeah, I'm bout it, bout that bike life. Are you bout it? Yeah, I'm bout it, bout that bike life. Are you bout it? Yeah, I'm bout it, bout that bike life. Are you bout it? Yeah, I'm bout it, bout that bike life. Roll out, that bike life. Roll out, bike life. Roll out, that bike life. Roll out, bike life. Roll out, that bike life. Roll out, bike life. Roll out, that bike life. Roll out, bike life. Yeah, catch me riding in the street, pushing pedals, banging, got me riding to the beat. Bike life, bike life. Catch me riding in the street, pushing pedals, banging, got me riding to the beat. Roll out, roll out. Catch me riding in the street, pushing pedals, banging, got me riding to the beat. Bike life, bike life. Catch me riding in the street, pushing pedals, banging, got me riding to the beat. Roll out.